Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to you're over here. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to rumble.com/JJW. I am JJW, and in the booth with me is not a bunch of these kittens. There is Deacon OTR. Good morning, sir. How are you? Good morning. Yes. Oh, your fans adore you. They wave and applaud. They beam at your very presence. The sound of his voice is just going to make your heart warm. Good morning, Deacon.
Hello there, JJ.
No. I have let we have both let everybody down just now.
You're snuggling with kittens this morning.
Yeah.
That's
Isn't
like
that nice?
a perfect snuggle blanket right there.
Oh yeah,
It's the kitten snuggle blanket. I was getting my coffee ready. I hadn't been feeling so chipper this morning, so I was getting all my stuff done, and I forgot to get my coffee ready. So I will be drinking a sugar-free, a zero sugar Gatorade in the meantime.
That has no caffeine.
Less than 1 gram of carbs.
Oh, that's...
Yeah, no caffeine, but Gatorades, there for a while in my late 20s or 30s, I went through this. I'm not drinking coffee in the morning. I drink a Gatorade. So I would stop and get a Gatorade, and I'd be like, I feel so refreshed this morning. So I thought it's mind over matter.
Mid-20s.
Yeah.
Unknowingly diabetic Deacon.
Yeah.
Drinking Gatorade every morning.
I'll eat these sweet tarts for breakfast and a cinnamon roll. Anymore when I look at that now for breakfast, when people are like, what are you having for breakfast? And they're like, I ate some donuts, or I ate a cinnamon roll, or
you're trying to die of a heart attack,
and I'm like, I know, but I look at that now differently than I used to, because used to I'd be like, oh, donuts sound great this morning. I mean, I could tear some donuts up, but to me, look at now, it's nothing but sugar. And that is so terrible for my body. Pure sugar like that is so terrible. I just had to go to another doctor yesterday that was telling me this is why your body is doing this, because you didn't pay attention to your sugar for a decade or more, is exactly what the girl told me yesterday. She was like, the reason your stomach is doing this is because you didn't pay attention to your sugar for over 10 years. I'm like, oh, cool. I'm not Superman.
Oh, so it's So I'm not invulnerable.
You've been watching your sugar for a while, though. Don't you?
I try to, but it's a roller coaster. I guess I watch it for a while, and then every once in a while there's a bender, or my wife and I go and have delicious Mexican food, and then they're like, "Do you want to see the dessert menu? There's fried cheesecake," and I'm like,
yes, I do want to see the dessert.
I guess I do need to see that. I've never seen anything like that. Let me see that. So that's
you take a banana and do what with it? Yes, I want to try that.
That's impossible. You need to prove that to me right now.
Oh,
fried cheesecake last night.
I'm not a huge.
You know what? It wasn't worth it, but it was.
Oh, really?
Still good.
I'm not a huge Mexican food fan. Not the biggest. Not the Americanized Mexican food. And you give me some real Mexican food, and I probably would like it much better. But Mexican desserts, let me tell you, that's where your culture excels. I just have to hand it to you. Us white people don't have anything on desserts when it comes to the Mexican culture.
What are those? I forget what they're called. The little cinnamon stick things,
Churros.
Churros. Is that what you like?
Man, I like it all. It all. Yeah.
You can't have any. No more for you. No more for you.
I know. It's what's terrible.
You need to do adulting better. No. So, Deacon, my computer continues to just kind of do wacky stuff. So I'm gonna have you click the links on some of the stories, I think.
Okay.
So you want to drive the show? But today's show is titled "The Most Dangerous Person in the World," but we don't have to just give it away.
I saw that. Do you get my name because of that?
Ken Shamrock.
Do you remember? Yeah, he's a wrestler. His moniker was the most dangerous man in the world. When I saw that this morning, the most dangerous person in the world, I thought, Ken Shamrock? Are we doing a show about Ken Shamrock today? So I'm Ken Shamrock, the most dangerous man in the world.
Okay. That's awesome.
All right. So,
and somehow I'm on the wrong side again. So swap there.
Okay, there you go. Now you're okay.
Yeah, I feel better.
Okay.
It was uncomfortable sitting in your spot. Okay. Let's see. What do we got in the docket? And now it's doing the things that are weird. Why?
Whoa! I'm seeing some of these stories for the first time, and holy crap! Yeah, I would be outraged if I was that church as well.
Yeah, we could. Hey, we can start with church stuff. We're coming up on a holiday. Let's start with some church stuff. We got
Post news story here.
Let's start with The Chosen. The Chosen. They took 2 episodes of The Chosen, which is a TV show I've never seen, but have you seen The Chosen?
No, I don't know what The Chosen is, but I'm fixing to bring that up here.
Yeah, do the movie one first. Okay, so look at the dancing. That's great. So The Chosen is this TV show, and I don't know much about it other than I am somehow like 2 or 3 degrees of separation from this TV show. Not only is my mother-in-law, whose house I'm in right now, she went to dinner with the producer of the show like a week or 2 ago, and she went to the red carpet premiere of this show for this show a couple weeks ago because I guess the second season come on. Yeah, right. And I'm like, oh, okay, a producer, that's cool.
That's cool.
I'm pretty sure my aunt, the other end of my family, I think she was in The Chosen as an extra because I think they filmed somewhere up here in DFW or something. So I'm pretty sure that some of my family is in the show somewhere, and some of my some of my family,
really
out with the producer. Yeah, I think so. Pretty sure.
Can you get me a meet and greet with Kevin Bacon?
I'm gonna let me send an email.
Okay, sweet. Honestly, that is pretty cool. I've never heard of this Chosen before, but
it's a pretty popular. It's a Christian TV show, and it is basically like takes place. I mean, like you know about it as much about it as I do. I tend to find this kind of stuff like I'm a little bit like I don't know if I want to just interpret and invent stuff that happened. Yeah, go ahead.
The first 2 episodes of the 3rd season of The Chosen were packaged together as a feature and released in theaters this weekend. The Angel Studios show, focusing on the life and times of Jesus Christ, started off as a crowd-funded endeavor 3 years ago. Now it's competing against the big boys at the box office and embarrassing the big Hollywood titles. The budget for these 2 episodes is said to be around $2 million. The Chosen is set to make $10 million in its opening weekend. Meanwhile, She Said could only muster up $2 million. Both films opened in 2,000 screens nationwide. The Jesus movie made even more money than The Menu, which screened about in 3,000 theaters. Just to put things into perspective, The Chosen made more money this weekend than the box office totals of Oscar contenders Armageddon Time, Till, Tar, and the Banshees of Inisherin. I've never heard of any of them damn movies.
Right.
Wow. Yeah. Well, it just goes to show you that all of these.
It's not even a movie. They just took 2 episodes and stuck them together and like, here, we'll just put these in the theater in case you want to see it in the theater. Right.
And that just goes to show that all of these so-called Christians that you don't think are out there, we're out there. We just know when to keep our mouths shut. It's the mouthy Christians are the ones that we all want to shut up. The ones that mouth and get up there and run their mouth are the ones that most of the real Christians are going, geez, please just shut up.
Here, let's check out the trailer for this thing. Let me pull the trailer up.
Oh, you got the trailer? Okay.
Yeah, I got the trailer. Let's try this and just check it out.
You look troubled.
I am.
You're losing something. I know what that's like.
What are you losing?
Time.
Oh, wow. He's got that.
I say to you,
Love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you. Someone touched me.
If you are really the one who is to come, should we look for someone else?
Go and tell John what you hear and see.
Who is it? Where did we stop?
It's him. I'm Judas of Keriot.
I have chosen you 12 as my apostles.
Don't feel any different?
I don't need you to feel anything to do great things. What is stirring in your hearts? In the middle of such division and unrest, is Father God being revealed to you? Come to me.
Wow, this trailer's long. Okay.
Jesus, yeah, let's.
So, all right. Well, I mean, my first impression right there of the guy that played Jesus is for a moment there, he had that real, like, deep, I don't know, ability to like connect with you and like communicate, being like open, and I just kind of got that impression. And then when they introduced the Judas Iscariot character, I was like, oh, they picked somebody who was young and likable and kind of fresh faced, somebody that you wouldn't cast you wouldn't immediately cast the like, oh, you're a bad guy. So I don't know. I have mixed feelings about making up dialogue about this, but it's pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. All right, so they made $10 million, and that movie She Said made $2 million. Okay.
Whatever. I've never heard of it.
Okay. Oh, he already lost interest. Hey,
No,
we got some more Jesus
the
news.
She
Let's
Said
pull up the other
movie.
Jesus news. Oh,
The She Said movie. I've never heard of that. No, this Chosen movie or the TV show looks interesting.
You don't even have to watch it in the theater. You could just like turn on the TV to whatever Angel channel is and watch it on TV. But you could go watch it in the theater if you want to. Pretty cool. Check it out. Hey, a church in Iceland sparks outrage for depicting Jesus as a trans with beard and breasts in a dress. Okay. Different way to go than normal.
You mean to tell me, JJ, that Jesus was not a trans man with post-op breasticles?
I'm not sure why they would do this. I'm not sure
because they want an express train to hell. Because they want to be first in line.
Yeah. Well, they're going to be one day, we all stand someday before the pearly gates and we answer for our crimes and our sins. And then I'm going to be in line, and right in front of me is going to be the guy that did this.
And St. Peter's going to be like, can you just go stand over here?
He'd be like, Jesus, this is the guy that did the transgender breast.
I know this is looking good for me because I always said when I get up to the pearly gates, St. Peter's going to be like, Andy, you laughed at a lot of jokes that were really inappropriate. I'm going to be like, yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know. So yeah. Wow.
Okay, I don't even care to know any more about this. I feel like I'm gonna be like going to hell if I even know any more about this man's Jesus.
Okay. All right. Well, just
I mean, what?
Iceland. If you ever wanted to go to Iceland, there's a church for you to go to.
After receiving backlash, the church removed the ad from social media, but not buses, and released an apology. However, the church also argued that it believes that it's okay to depict Jesus as a woman, transgender, or anything else.
Right.
Why is it okay to disrespect Jesus in the Christian religion, but if I draw
oh my God, I didn't know. Look, it says the ad
killed.
The ad was animated. If I'd have known it was animated, I would have found a clip of it somewhere.
My God.
That would have been crazy funny. Anyway.
The ad campaign cost the church. How much do you think it cost the church?
I don't know.
That's
14 $14,000. And that's before the
$14,800.
church gets burned down when God strikes it with a lightning bolt.
One comment read, "There was a reason I left the National Church and found another Christian congregation." Another read, "Shame on the bishop." Another user wrote, "The church should be ashamed for humiliating Jesus like this." That's
Yeah.
why do Muslims get, Muslims kill people for drawing pictures of Muhammad,
Right.
but
Yeah. Yep.
I don't know.
He's got like makeup on too. You can see his cheeks are a little pink.
Yeah.
He's got some lipstick, I think.
I'm kind of glad that I can't like zoom in on that.
I mean, and it's tranny Jesus and a bunch of kids on that ad.
Look,
So if that doesn't
can you
say
see
grimmer to you.
that I highlighted?
Oh yeah, Goran
Read that.
Karls Og Helgothyr, a minister of the Gargo Church.
That was exactly how it's interpreted. Yeah, that's perfect. You've been practicing.
Yeah.
Grafar Vog Skirkja.
One of those syllables is just just kind of a pile of spit in the middle of your throat that's half swallowed. All right, that's enough of that. I just so Deacon opens the show notes today and he's like, "What the?"
I know I opened it and saw a picture of tranny Jesus, and I'm like, "Oh well, that's enough internet for today."
I see Jason's been at work.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we got tranny Jesus out of the way. I think we can end the show early.
No, we got a lot of stuff to talk about, guys.
Okay. Let's talk about the overlords. You want to talk about
let's talk about our overlords. Let's talk about that. Joe Biden and the world leaders, they met at the G20 and they signed a declaration to adopt vaccine passports for international travel. Joe Biden
who's not going to be traveling internationally anymore.
Exactly. They want you landlocked. They want you trapped. President Joe Biden signed a G20 Bali Leaders Declaration agreeing to adopt vaccine passports to facilitate all international travel. Paragraph 23 of the declaration pertains to facilitating seamless international travel by pledging to commit to international dialogue and collaboration to establish a trusted global digital health network that should capitalize and build on the success of existing standards and digital COVID-19 certificates. Fuck Joe Biden.
I went to the doctor, a new doctor yesterday, and I've been going to a lot of doctors the past year or so, and they always ask you, have you had the COVID-19 vaccination? And I haven't. So I always tell them no. Yeah, they ask every time. It's a part of their little thing that they have that they have to ask. Okay. So and she asked yesterday. And I am noticing now, as a person that is not vaccinated and was not vaccinated, when I had to answer that question a couple of years ago, I would get an immediate change in the energy. It wouldn't be the person would be like, with their face, but the energy would change. And it was a noticeable change in the energy on these people that wanted me to be vaccinated and I wasn't. Now, when I answer that question, I've had this happen two times in a row now at doctor's offices, and she did it yesterday too. They ask me, "Are you vaccinated?" And I say no. And they immediately start backpedaling and offering kind of an apology to why they're even asking the question now.
Really?
It's so weird. The first girl did it at the one, like
culture
a month
shift
ago.
right there.
And then the other one did it yesterday. And I was just like, this is so weird that now you're like apologizing to me for asking if I'm vaccinated. When earlier it was, I was being silently judged for not being vaccinated.
Hey, I'm sorry, Deacon. I just noticed that we've got comments over in Rumble. So,
let me.
Let me pull it. Let's see. Brian says, "TBF, Jesus was transcendent." Oh,
you're right.
Transcendent. That's when when your earthly body, is replaced with your perfect, holy, spiritual body, and then you slap on a little rouge, a little bit of a little bit of lip gloss, curl your hair, strap
I
on your man bra.
I was never taught in Sunday school about Jesus's breasts. Is that something that they just, I mean, is that in one of the books, like after Matthew or
Uh,
Mark?
I didn't have that in my
I know
copy.
I missed that Sunday school lesson.
Yeah, it wasn't in mine.
No, it
Wasn't in
wasn't in
mine.
mine either. So, yeah, I learned about Moses and Noah, but
Yeah.
not about
Okay.
breasts.
I'm gonna try to keep my eyes on the Rumble chat, guys. Okay.
All right.
So Joe Biden. Okay. So the president has the ability to enter into international treaties. Those treaties do have to be ratified by Congress, but the president is able to make international agreements that are binding on the United States. So now that also means that the next president that comes in, unless you guys out there are retards and keep electing Democrats, when the next president comes in, he can just exit, withdraw from the treaty. Um, but this international vax passport sounds like bad juju to me.
Yeah,
So.
but I mean, you kinda saw this coming, man.
Oh yeah,
This
they are
is
trying to do this to you. They
yeah.
absolutely want to do this to you.
It's
They want to know where you go, and they want to know everything that goes in your arm. They want to
And it's
know.
so funny that the crazy conspiracy theorists, you crazy conspiracy theorists, have been saying this since the start,
Yeah.
you know? So crazy. Hmm.
Conspiracy theory is such a loaded term, and it is used to discredit with no more evidence
Yeah.
than the theory has to assert itself. With no more evidence than that, it's used as a dispersion and as a to discredit this person. So I dislike using that term
I do too.
whatsoever.
Those 2 words are a perfect, class in how we can change words and kinda brainwash society, with just 2 words, conspiracy theory. Those words went on to be defined as when I say that's a conspiracy theory, your initial thought or a majority of the public's initial thought is crazy, not true. You know, Bigfoot, Loch Ness monster,
Right.
aliens. That's your immediate thought. So when I say conspiracy theory, those 2 words, you immediately think, oh, bonkers, lunatic, crazy people. And that's you're right about. I don't like that word either because there are a lot of things that are theories that do they do need more merit behind them and more push behind them, but as soon as somebody labels it a conspiracy theory, it kinda gets dismissed and pushed away. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. It's immediate. It
Yeah, it's
without
immediately
having to
dismissed.
provide any evidence,
Yeah.
without having to provide to back up your claim at all. You can just say, "Oh, that's a conspiracy theory. That's a conspiracy theorist," and then no evidence that the person brings has to be brought anymore. You can just like, "Oh, well, they're just discredited."
Like, for example, just real quick, for example, the theory that there was an advanced civilization, before us. That there
Yeah.
has been a more advanced or it is as advanced as we are civilization before us. And the theory that is that a theory or is that a conspiracy theory? Because now with our technology, we're finding a lot of stuff that we don't have answers for. There is a whole show that I've been watching on I think it's on Netflix called I don't even remember what it's called, but that's what the show is this guy that's gone around with this lidar and stuff now, this laser remote radar, and they're finding stuff that they're like this stuff shouldn't have been built by these people and we can't explain it. So I mean, so is that a theory or is it a
Well, okay,
conspiracy theory?
so my brother says, "I'm glad your opinion on conspiracy theories has changed." Okay, don't assume I'm going too far the other way. I still think that things that sound crazy sound crazy. What I'm talking about is using that, which is there are a bunch of people saying a bunch of crazy things, and using that to cast aspersions on valid criticisms of the government based on documents and people actually doing things today.
Right.
So,
So wait a minute. Let me
so
go back and say something and amend something that you just said.
yeah,
And I agree. Things that sound crazy. Well, how'd you put that again?
things that sound crazy sound crazy. It
Okay.
just like I mean,
Right.
if you're
And I agree. I agree. Wait a minute. I agree.
secret
Things that sound
cabal of
crazy
people are
sound
meeting
crazy.
to
But wait a
orchestrate.
minute. Wait a minute.
Uh,
Wait a minute
uh,
though. That if that sounds crazy, it does sound crazy. But I've
yeah,
always said on that same hand, I've always said if it sounds logical, I am not going to dismiss it. I'm not going to immediately accept that that's the truth, but
right.
I
Well, it's
cannot,
just
my Andy cannot dismiss something that to my brain sounds logical. I might not accept it, but if it's logical, I have to
sure.
be like,
Okay.
that's okay. That's logical.
Well,
It's crazy as
a
it's
lot of
logical.
times, a lot of times, like things that okay. For instance, you were talking about these people shouldn't have been able to do this. I think there is some stories about like cylindrical holes drilled into granite at in Egypt in the pyramids or something,
And
and
yeah, and
that's
the
like
mountain in,
oh
China has all the pipes that's running through the mountain. You heard
oh
about
yeah,
that? Yeah.
I haven't heard about
Crazy,
that.
crazy shit.
So you're like, oh, how could they put a cylindrical hole in granite or whatever? Well, it sounds like, oh, they must have had advanced technology, or it turns out you can do that with like a copper tube and a
Right.
and a rock on a stick. So okay,
You
it just because you don't know how to do it doesn't mean it's like super advanced. It's just people have forgotten how to do things. So a
mm,
lot of times there can be
I'm
like a really
right.
simple, valid
Yeah,
explanation.
right, but we're going way
Yeah,
off the topic
yeah, yeah,
here.
yeah.
I mean,
All right.
we could go down this path forever. All I'm saying is what you said is if it sounds crazy, it sounds crazy. But on the same hand, if it sounds logical, I don't think people should dismiss it
Well,
immediately.
let's just
If
try to
you're
keep things contained to evidence we have.
I mean, even with the evidence that we have, man, I can sit here and argue with that too. Seeing is believing. Oh yeah, well, we don't see and hear everything. Just because we don't hear it and see it doesn't mean that it's not there, because we've proved that. With
Right.
technology, we've proved that. Just because we see it and hear it, and as a Christian, you can't say seeing is believing because you believe in stuff that you can't see as a Christian. So,
Okay, yeah, that's true. But there's also a plethora of other kinds of evidence in your life, like especially when you become a Christian. Like there's you can denote a change in yourself. You can observe changes in other people, and yeah, you can maybe propose. I mean, I'm talking about Christianity in particular, because you'll have convicts and drug addicts that are somehow able to like reform and turn their lives around, right, and to become better people than they were before. Or in my case, I was a terrible person and I became a Christian. And over time, it's like the indwelling spirit. It allows you to overcome temptations and make better choices and be better to other people. So there's other kinds of evidence, but I mean, I'm talking specifically when we're talking about accusing groups of people of like mad conspiracies. I think I've mentioned before, like I think it makes a lot more sense to me that rather than having a cabal of super billionaires gather in a room and huddle and think of how they can plan the world together, it makes a lot more sense that they're in competition with each other for dominance, and they're just making big choices with
no,
big dollars.
this is not a freaking movie script. These I believe I just believe differently.
That's
I don't
okay, and we can.
yeah, and that's yeah, that
We
we
can.
mean you.
Okay, it's not like it's going to change anything
No,
unless
hell,
unless everybody unless they subscribe right now to rumble.com/JJW and make sure that we get our message out there every single day.
There is
Hit
one
that like,
constant.
subscribe.
There is one constant in this world. No, there's two constants in this world. The sun will rise in the east and set in the west.
Yes.
And JJ will
Will
always
show my
pimp
show.
himself out. He will
Yeah,
always
absolutely. I think I put us on the pyramid of like Father, Son, Holy Ghost, and also the show. Also our show yesterday. Okay. Oh, let's move on. We got other stuff to talk about
Yeah,
other
I'm
than
gonna
our overload.
pull up a
So, but we
story
agree that Joe Biden is an asshole, right? Giant asshole trying to make us do
yes.
vax passports. Fuck that guy.
All right, let's talk about a lady that we both like that's getting the shaft, and not in the good way. Ooh, not for kids.
What is this?
I
Oh,
will
yes, Carrie Lake.
become
Carrie Lake is not
governor.
giving up yet. She is
I
fighting.
will defeat you. Sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, wow.
That's what she was saying.
Is that a Carrie Lake impression? Because I
Yeah, that's what she
she
said. I will become governor.
Oh, okay.
You didn't see that press conference? Oh, okay. Read
I
about
missed
this.
that
I'm gonna
one.
go get a coffee.
Yeah. Carrie Lake says she insists that she's still on track to overturn Democratic rivals' election win as the AG's office demands an explanation for polling day issues before certifying the results. So Carrie Lake is in a governor's race against Katie Hobbs, who is the current Arizona Secretary of State. And Katie Hobbs, as Secretary of State, is running the election that she's in and, has declared herself the winner. And there's some issues. There's some outstanding ballots. There are some ballots that remain to be cured. There are some legal challenges that remain. And the difference between their totals is very slim. So it may trigger an automatic recount. So it's not like in the bag. Arizona gubernatorial candidate Carrie Lake has insisted she will become governor after the state's attorney general demanded explanations to polling day issues before agreeing to certify Lake's Democrats' rivals win. That is Katie Hobbs' win. GOP rising star Lake spoke exclusively to DailyMail.com Saturday after her campaign was handed a lifeline on Saturday when the state's attorney general office demanded explanations for a string of election day problems. Lake told DailyMail.com it vindicated her decisions to fight on, even though the AP, the Associated Press, and other news organizations called the race for her opponent. I don't know how many people know this, but the news media do not actually get to decide who wins and who loses a race. It actually depends on which.
We've seen that several times where they'll call stuff from the news
exactly.
media and it'll get picked up everywhere. And I was reading about it and Reddit, and it was like, ha, 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 blah, 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 blah.
Well,
and the next day you get to work and you're reading the real headlines and you're like, geez.
In some cases, the difference can be so big that it's totally insurmountable. Like if one guy's got like 65% of the vote and the other guy's got 35% of the vote, well, you can kind of report on that. And then based on the reporting and based on these totals that are pretty obvious, the loser may then concede. And so the media kind of helps push the loser to concede, and therefore you don't have to wait for a decision to be certified. At that point, there's only one person left in the race. In this case, the two contestants have only like 18,000 votes between them, and Lake is not conceding. So, but Hobbs has declared herself the winner, and as Secretary of State, kind of has the power to do so, which is a special kind of fucked up, and maybe should be addressed. Like people shouldn't be able to run their own elections. People should not be allowed to run their own elections.
That's pretty bad right there. I didn't understand any of that until afterwards and read somewhere and somebody was like, this is some fucked up shit. And I was like, yeah, that's wrong.
Now it's not just the Democrats that run their own elections. There's also David Kemp over in Virginia.
Nobody. That's a conflict of interest. Big.
Yeah, it really is.
If conflict of interest could be defined, that's the definition right there.
As with all things, nothing is illegal or wrong until you call them on it, right? Like if you go rob someplace and then they don't call the police, no crime was committed because they don't pursue their legal recourse. So unless voters act and move to block this kind of stuff, people are going to do what they can do, because like if it's not illegal, then it must be illegal. And somebody has to run the races, but you really should be recused of running your own election, or you should recuse yourself. But that would require a spine and conscience. With more than 95% of votes tallied, Lake trails Democrat Katie Hobbs by fewer than 18,000 votes. The AP has already called the race for Hobbs, but Lake, who is expected to win the contest, is having none of it. She says the way they run elections in Maricopa County is worse than in banana republics around the world. And I'll tell you what, I believe at the end of the day, this will be turned around, and I don't know what the solution will be, but I still believe I will become governor, and we are going to restore honesty to our elections. On Saturday, Assistant Attorney General Jennifer Wright wrote to one of the county's top election officials detailing reports of a string of irregularities, from printer problems that stopped printing ballots to be tabulated, to confusion about procedures for transferring voters to alternate sites who are unable to vote at the first location. So we have a couple of things here, Deacon. Let me just get our beautiful faces back up here. So not only were there ballots that were not printing correctly, and then those ballots, when you run your stuff through, they weren't printed correctly, and so they wouldn't tabulate correctly. That's one issue. Another issue is that people would get in line, and then there'd be problems, and normal people are like, look, man, I can't fuck around here all day. I have to go to work. So people would get out of line, or they would be sent to another place. But in many cases, once you have checked into a polling site at one location, you can't check in at another location, because as far as the books know, you checked in and voted. So oftentimes, the people that left one location go to another location. The books say they've already voted, so they're given a provisional ballot, and then that's only counted later if they can validate, verify that you didn't vote in the first location. So like, it creates a swamp of problems. Which you probably
to me, you're just creating. I'm sorry. It should be if you checked in and you got out of line, you lost your spot, man. You can still come back to. You still can come back to this one that you checked in before we close and vote here, but you cannot go anywhere else. You've already checked in here. We used to have specific spots. I couldn't go. I had one place that I went to because that's where the location that I lived and where my last name fell is where I went and voted. And it was where I voted was at the Senior Citizen Center. I had to go to the Senior Citizen Center and vote. And other people voted. I couldn't just go up to the.
While you're there, were you able to like scope out any amenities? Which rooms have good windows?
They had some chess and they had some puzzle rooms. It was pretty sweet. But no, see, I couldn't go like up to the elementary school and vote because they wouldn't have my information up there, or they wouldn't. That wasn't my designated spot. But now we can go anywhere we want and vote anywhere, and I guess that's like that everywhere. I didn't know that. So
I mean, a lot of places, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, and it's fine as long as you don't check into multiple places, right?
Right. And you're going to have nefarious people that's going to be doing that crap on purpose and trying to vote in several different places.
Yeah, I mean, I really think that's pretty minor. What we really need is a national holiday so that nobody's allowed to go to work that day. So you have no excuse to not get in line and stay there until you're done voting.
Yeah, good. Yeah. And maybe it will rain gumdrops and gummy bears. Shit's never gonna happen.
I know simple solutions are like so difficult. Okay, so that's Carrie Lake. We have to continue to watch and see what's going on there, because like she's fighting for you. She's fighting for me. She's fighting for herself in Arizona, but that's okay. She's supposed to be doing that too.
Are we going to read this story that is our headline?
Yeah. Let's talk about that, and then if we get time, we can talk about. I guess we should have mentioned. No
thanks.
Ice Cube during the.
You want to do that one first?
Biden.
Here, we'll do that.
We should have jammed it up next to President Biden.
Yeah, that's true. Because I like you.
Hey, I haven't seen Manuel or Mr. E in a couple weeks. Well, Manuel was here maybe last week. Haven't seen him lately. If you got kids, if we play this clip, you need to stick some fingers in ears or send them out of the room or something because this is Ice Cube.
Oh, I don't know if
And
there's a clip.
I saw a clip yesterday, and
Oh, yes.
and there's definitely a clip, or maybe that's the whole thing. But I saw a clip yesterday, and there was some words, and there's words if I read them. So just cautionary note, and this show is not for children.
We've never said a cuss word on this show, so just be careful.
You know, Deacon is a little loose with his. For a radio professional, I would expect him to be able to self censor a lot better, but sometimes he just goes.
I can
Hot
self
mic.
censor a lot better. You don't understand. Do you want me to not say another cuss word on the show ever? I won't.
No,
Watch.
I want you to be you. I want you to be you.
I won't do it.
No,
I can
I want you to be
self-censor.
you. It's okay. I don't want to
30
censor you.
years.
All right.
30 years
Ice-
behind this thing.
Ice Cube confirmed on an episode of $1 Million Worth of Game podcast that he lost $9 million acting role because of his refusal to get a COVID vaccine shot.
Mhm.
Reports surfaced. Oh, by the way, YouTube. This is reported from Variety.com, NewsGuard certified. I am not saying anything. This is Ice Cube and his stuff, not me, and not anything I advocate. Reports surfaced in October 2021 that Cube was dropped from Sony's comedy "Oh Hell No," directed by
How you
Bad
gonna
Trip
get
Film.
fired on your day off? Sorry, I had to say that one.
By Bad Trip filmmaker Kitao Sakurai and co-starring Jack Black. It was going to be an Ice Cube, Jack Black comedy.
Man,
A little disappointed.
I'm a little
Producers
upset
on the
about
film.
that.
Yeah, producers on the film reported. I mean, that could have been. I mean, like.
Oh, I love
that
both
could have
of
been.
them.
Yeah, that could have been interesting. Producers on the film reportedly requested all the cast members be vaccinated in order to participate in the production, which at the time was planning to shoot in Hawaii during the winter. I turned down the movie. Sorry, what?
Nothing. Nothing.
I turned down the movie because I didn't want to get the effing jab, Cube said, confirming the October reports. I turned down the $9 million. I didn't want to get the jab. F the jab. F you all for trying to make me get it. I don't know how Hollywood feels about me right now. When one of the podcast hosts suggested Cube leave Hollywood for streaming, Cube replied, "That's Hollywood, though.
Mhm.
They're on some shit, but me, I'm on some shit too." I don't
That's
know
Hollywood.
what
He's
that
right.
means. I don't know what that statement means. Would he leave Hollywood and make an independent production? I'm working on it. I'm hustling. Got a lot of things up my sleeve.
You don't think Ice Cube has the clout to start something on his own and do something on his own? He's not like, he's not some. This is Cube we're talking about here.
He for sure could.
He has proven himself in many different aspects of life. He has proven himself. So I think we understand. I think we all need to understand, if Ice Cube puts his mind to something, he's going to do it. Period.
I think I remember watching a Martian space movie with him in it. It was pretty fun.
Really?
Let's check. Yeah,
I would literally watch any movie with Ice Cube in it. You're like, this Hallmark Christmas music movie's got Ice Cube in it. I'm like, let's watch it.
But I want to see him slap Santa upside the head and take his bag and stuff. Just get my house, man. Bop.
Andy, do you want to go watch this opera? No, it's got Ice Cube. Let's go.
I'll give it a shot.
I'll give it a shot.
Let me see what's up with
this Les Mis has got Ice Cube in it. All right, cool.
Let me check his filmography, because I know I've seen a bunch of stuff that he's been in, but it was way back in the 90s. It was like, I want to say it was like, it wasn't Red Planet. Ghost of Mars. Jeremy, do you remember watching Ghost of Mars? That's what it was. It was Ice Cube and a bunch of other people on. Look, we're gonna play a trailer for this. We're just segueing right now. We're just gonna watch a Ghost of Mars trailer from the 1990s. This let me get it up and then okay. All I remember is that they were on Mars, they were fighting something, and Ice Cube had a shotgun on Mars, and it was funny. I mean, it was like an action movie or whatever, but get out
of there! It was supposed to be a routine prisoner transport.
Oh.
Williams was
I know
arrested
that
on
voice.
suspicion
What's
of
that
murdering
voice?
6 rail workers.
No, that's
No,
not
it's
Lawrence
not Lawrence
Fishburne.
Fishburne.
That's
It's,
David.
Damn it! What? Who is that?
It'll come. It'll come in a minute. It'll come in a minute. We
Bodies
talked
were
about
hung.
we talked about him just like 2 weeks ago or whatever.
He was on
And
Community.
decapitated.
But here, a million miles from home,
Hello? Anybody here?
Drop your weapon. I ain't going back.
they're about to discover nothing is what it seems.
We got a situation here. Everybody in the mart's got
Oh my god!
What the hell?
Oh my god! Is that Jason Statham in this movie? Keith David. Jeremy says it's Keith David.
That's right. Keith David.
Yeah. So this has Keith David, Ice Cube.
That chick right there looks like what's her name?
That's Natasha Henstridge.
Oh, is that who that is?
I think so. I might be wrong.
I thought it was what's her name. Yeah, I bet you're right. I was thinking it was what's her name from
And look, it's Hillary Clinton.
What's the name?
What is going on?
Whatever used to live here, we woke it up. It takes us. I'm talking about a kind of possession.
Something's kicking out there.
We need us, and we need you. None of us is gonna survive if we don't stick together.
Come on. Time to stay alive. Second time I saved your life.
Yeah, run a tab!
Oh my god!
From the master of terror.
Go! Get out here!
John Carpenter's Ghosts of Mars.
Damn, girl. I like you already.
That's good.
Yeah, I forgot about Natasha
believe-
Henstridge.
I can't
Katie
believe you've never
Sackhoff
seen
really
that.
was- Yeah, no, I've seen that. It's been like since '92 or whenever it came out.
I'm pretty sure that's Natasha Henstridge because I would have
Yeah,
because
yeah,
I
it is.
remember at the
Katie
time.
Sackhoff, me
I remember
too.
at the time that it was like John Carpenter's Ghosts of Mars, and I was like, I love The Thing. I love John Carpenter movies. I want to see this, and it also had Ice Cube in it, and it wasn't an alien movie. But what was the Natasha Henstridge thing where she was in the? She was like the alien.
yeah, no, that's what I was gonna say. That was during her action period.
Yeah, this would have been after that, but it would have been.
Wasn't it like that artifact came into the museum and it turned into that big alien creature in the
No,
museum?
that's that. Well, maybe she was in that. That movie was called Relic. No,
Yeah.
this the alien movie she was in. They like received like a signal from space and they transcoded it. And it was like a DNA thing, so they manufactured it, and then it turned out to be her, and she was some sort of like
that's right.
mama bug monster species. Yeah,
Species.
dude, they're walking around on Mars with shotguns and Mac 9s and
It's awesome. Cube can do that. He can walk around.
Yeah.
on Mars. All right. So there was our Ice Cube story.
yeah. Oh yeah, he said
Now
front to
we
back.
can go to our dangerous person.
He said that, not us.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Most dangerous person in the world is not Ice Cube. It is not Joe Biden. It's not.
Mega. Oh, sorry.
According to former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, the most dangerous person in the world is not Kim Jong-un or Il or whatever. It's not Chairman Kim. It's not Xi Jinping. The most dangerous person in the world is Randy Weingarten.
Randy
It's not even a close.
Weingarten.
Yeah, you see her on our thumbnail of our show. Randy Weingarten, the leader, the head of the American Federation of Teachers Union. It's not even a close call. If you ask who's the most likely person to take the republic down, it would be the teachers' unions and the filth that they are teaching our kids and the fact that they don't know math and reading or writing. And he argued some classroom material, such as critical race theory, which holds that the U.S. institutions are inherently racist, was endangering the foundations of this country. And he's not wrong if you really think about it. If you teach, well, first of all, pandemic, kids stayed home for 2 years. You know how much that has affected their ability to learn. The kids that stayed home for 2 years, they're like 30. They perform like 30% worse than their peers.
I can't believe it's only 30%.
Yeah,
that was such a waste of time and a waste.
Yeah,
that I screamed. You know, I mouthed a bunch about that during that pandemic year.
Yeah.
My children did not learn anything with the remote learning.
Yeah, they're just on the computer and they were playing jokes. I remember seeing like a bunch of people where they instead of learning, the kids were collaborating to make
my kids
blink out videos and stuff.
Yes, my kids learned technology better. Is the one thing that they learned. They learned technology better. But as far as history and math and science and literature and reading and stuff like
you've got a picture of her.
Absolutely not. Absolutely. They didn't learn anything. So yes, they've been indoctrinating our children for a long time.
But it's not only that
colleges have been doing that since for 30, 40 years. And you see that now because these people are now 30 and 40 years old.
They are not teaching them the tools you need for, making decisions and how to think. And they're not giving them the tools to read, to write, to do arithmetic well. And they're also teaching them that like America's racist. It's got racist things. You can't even break out of it.
Of course, she is a lesbian.
Oh, yeah.
And is she a rabbi?
I'm going to finish Pompeo's quote. Quote, if our kids don't grow up understanding America is an exceptional nation, we're done. If they think it's an oppressor class and an oppressed class, if they think the 1619 Project and we were founded on a racist idea, if those are the things people entered in the 7th grade having deeply embedded in their understanding of America, it's difficult to understand how Xi Jinping's claim that America is in decline won't be proven true. Weingarten has been the head of the AFT since 2008 and has been a key proponent of several reforms in school, including the implementation of some curricula conservative critics would call CRT. So, she's the most dangerous person in the world, dude.
Does she know karate?
I don't know if she knows
karate. Jiu-jitsu? I don't know.
Please don't say anything anti-Semitic on the channel. I really can't handle it. That we'll get canceled. We're so close. We're on the bubble already.
I'm listing martial arts.
Oh, maybe my headphones went out. I thought you said something else.
No, I said jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Karate.
Oh, martial arts. All right. So that's all we got today on our show, Deacon. We'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow is Wednesday, and then a day after that is Thanksgiving.
I don't know
you have a list of things.
Tomorrow is not Wednesday. Today is Wednesday. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving.
I have no idea. I have no idea what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you don't. Today's Wednesday. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving Day. I don't know if I will come into work tomorrow.
You might do it from home, or you might not do it at all.
I don't know if I'll do it at all.
Okay.
I might set up the work and set it up to where I don't have to come up here.
Okay.
And waste the gas to come up to work for no reason.
There you go. Do that. So if we don't see you tomorrow, we won't see you tomorrow. But if we do see you, we will. It'll be a surprise.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be able to do it at home because I might be able to get the microphone working on the new computer. I'll have to mess with it today. I'll take the camera.
It's Thanksgiving. Home. You should hang out with your kids. You don't have to get up and do this.
I know. I won't have to get up in the morning. I really don't want to get up in the morning. If I can sleep in, it'd be nice.
All right.
I'm going to be here tomorrow.
All right. Well, that's all. I hope this was informative. Please like, share, leave a comment. Appreciate Brian leaving comments on Rumble on the videos after they post, not just the live chat. And I don't know, share it out. Tell people to join. And I don't know. I don't know what to tell you other than you get a vaccine
Merry
passport.
Christmas.
You're gonna be like a slave of the state.
You're gonna be cubed, man. We call that cubed.
F the vaccine is what he says. That's what Ice Cube says. Not the show. The show didn't say F the vaccine. Ice Cube said F that vaccine. Just carry that with you in your heart, along with Tranny Jesus. Bye, everybody.